This is a Hunt 65mm deep wheel set up for tubeless tires, such as this Schwalbe Pro 1. Tubeless tires are great. They promise to be puncture free, puncture resistant. I'm sure they are. This one just has a flat in it right around here, indicated by the arrow. It's leaking air left, right and center. That one is apparently too much. So what are my options here? Very, very straightforward. Get a new tire. Yeah. For $120? I don't think so. However, it might be worth your while if weight matters to you a lot. For me, I'm going to make it just about 102 or something grams. Okay, 105 grams heavier. And I'm going to put a tube into a tubeless tire. Important consideration here is the valve stem length must be long enough to go through the entire depth of the rim, obviously. So I'm gonna get to work, remove the valve, and then put in the tube. Let's see how this works. Now, I'm not blaming the manufacturer or anything. A tire named Pro 1 is clearly meant for racing, therefore not for training. What makes it good for racing is that they try to keep the weight down and make the tire as light as possible, so it doesn't have a whole lot of extra meat in the tire, and that means the tire is relatively thin. Yes, puncture resistant. Yes, I'm sure it's wonderful. It rolls wonderfully well, etc. So it's a race tire. Okay, there's no escaping it. Made out of thin materials. It shouldn't be used for training. Yes, I used it for training. Yeah, so at this point I'm just test fitting how in a triathlon race I can do this repair myself, how fast it's going to be and how well it's going to hold. So the original holes that deflated the tire, there's one of them and another one right next to it. I've checked them on the inside, so nothing sharp is remaining in the tire. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm testing how this type of repair can be done in field, how long it takes for me and how well it's going to hold. So I'm not going to a race with this setup. It's clear that I need a new tire. I'm just maybe not pushing the envelope, but I'm just, it's a field repair. So here's another cut in the tire. I'm sure this isn't healthy either. Now, some cuts in the tire that aren't too deep will be fine. There will always be cuts and imperfection in a tire, but so this is a race tire. There isn't a whole lot of depth here in the middle, in the rubber, in the material. So I also just unzipped half of the tire. The other part of the tire, or the other bead on the tire, is still in the groove in the rim, not because it's going to be ever used with the latex compound as a tubeless setup. I'm just testing ideas here, see how they work. Okay, let's get the pump here. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Of course I need to take out the valve, the lock ring, and then hopefully I can just lift everything up if I push. There we go, push hard on the lock ring. Okay, so this is doable without pliers and whatever in the field. Just checking. And of course, maybe I need to save this, but whatever. If you have to do this in the field, I don't think you're carrying paper towels for cleaning everything, because this latex compound is, this sealant compound is going to be everywhere, and it's a nuisance. So let's put the tube in. No surprises there. Okay, so the valve stem is long enough. That's reassuring. At least something works. Let's see how this is going to hold air after all. Of course, some of this compound is still puddling and trickling down, whatever. Just work with it. I mean, just ignore it and see how this works out. Making progress here, but obviously this is majorly, it's sticky to the hand, and then it needs cleaning up or whatever, washing this whole thing after it's been fixed. Alright, just about on the last bit here. There, very easy, no tools needed for putting the tube inside a tire. So this is a $6 fix attempt, at least, for a $120 problem. Or if you have a puncture in a race, so this is how it could be done. I mean, on a triathlon race, you know, if anything, a little bit of tire sealant is helping with placing the tube into the tire and, you know, sliding friction fit instead of dry friction fit, so the tube is not pinched. So a little bit that sealant helps with that. Okay. Looks like we're all on the inside of the bead. Let's give it some air pressure. Oh yeah, it's popping in place. And of course, there we go. And of course I realized instantly I'm not gonna have a shop pump with me for inflating this thing, so this can take 20 minutes easily to add to a race time. Alright, so far so good. Inflated to 95 psi. I'm gonna have to wash it. Alright, I washed the wheel right here at the sink. Just don't tell her, please. I didn't use soap. I used only lukewarm water. That's it. For my hands I used a little bit of soap. It's just sticky gummy to the hand, but the rim cleaned off very well with just water. So doing this in the field, I don't think so, but it's still a $6 repair to a $120 problem. Alright, about 3 days later, I'm ready to check tire pressure. It looks good. And then I'm not going on a ride on this wheel because it needs a cassette set, but will do eventually. Let's see, out of 95 psi, let's see how many are actually left in it. Wow, that's pretty good. You're looking at 82 right there, and 3 days of time. So the butyl, the tube inside holds air better than this one is a tubeless wheel, where this one is a tubeless wheel. So this one is useless after, I don't know, 3 days. It's basically down to 20 psi, something like that. But this one with the tube actually holds better, but 105 grams heavier. So there it is.